though.
We are doing Z streams. Can you share it on Z
No.
Discord?
I can't.
Because I can't go to Discord after I
Don't
start.
make me share it, Jesse.
I'm
Please.
sorry.
Don't make me do it, Jesse.
YouTube reload.
Yeah. After I got it live, or not live, but full screen. It gets weird if I... Oh, Retro.
There.
And Chicken.
Retro.
Were they just waiting for us to start?
Probably.
Yeah.
Not.
I told Ilya I was
got
expecting
hiccups.
some of the regulars to be like, why haven't you podcasted in 2-3 weeks? Sup, everybody? Hello, Retro.
Everyone. There. I
It's
put
a
it on the
gecko.
Discord.
George
George.
and Chicklin. Daniel Durgerson.
Oh boy, here we go again.
It reminds me of that skit that I sent you where they're like, it's...
Andy Samberg.
Yeah. They just mix up.
Sandy Dander. I love it. That was really fun. That was a really good one.
Did you ever watch it when it was on TV? Whitest Kids You Know?
No. Before they were on TV, when they were just doing like YouTube videos, I was watching them. This is the most hipster thing I could have said. But then they were on TV for a bit, and then I don't have cable. So
They had a really stupid, funny movie a long time ago.
I approve. I like stupid fun.
It was one of those movies where like they went out of their way to purposefully make the comedy stupid.
Oh.
Did you see the fan art I tweeted you, Jesse?
What?
When did you tweet it? Because if it was in like the past 10 minutes, then no.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, whoa!
Where is it? Is it on Twitter?
I want to see.
Retweet.
Wow,
I don't have a Twitter.
That is really insane.
What in the...
Wow.
What is this?
Is it Rugrats? I don't know.
Holy what?
Oh.
What? I love it. Oh, my cardigan's perfect. That's
My curly hair.
Oh my gosh. Is that just on...
It is now retweeted. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
Holy cow, I love it. I'm seriously, that's amazing.
So
That is
Ilya's
amazing.
Zelda.
Yeah.
Daniel is...
I am.
You just are.
You're
I
Linebeck.
am.
Linebeck.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're Link.
Kayla is a
She is.
werewolf?
I mean, she loves Twilight Princess.
That's true.
Well,
That's
like
true,
the nose. Is she the kid that like chases you around with the bubble
No.
nose?
No. No. Don't even talk about
Who
that
is
kid.
it supposed to be?
That kid bothers
even-
me so much.
Don't even talk about that.
He's the only one that I know that has the nose like that. That's just like a darker shade that's colored.
Wait, are you talking about the kid with the snot hanging out of his mouth?
That's what I...
Mouth.
Yeah,
Nose?
yeah.
Yeah, none for me,
It's
thanks.
just like the giant bubble, and it pops if you talk to him or something like that.
It doesn't pop.
It just
Doesn't-
dangles and it's
It just
disgusting.
dangles.
No,
Gross.
there's one where it pops. No, there's someone sleeping, and if you talk to him, he'll wake up and it'll pop. But what game is that?
Gross. The guy with the little booger kid, though, in Wind Waker, I will go out of my way to avoid him at all costs.
It's
I
just,
don't want
we
him
just
to
need to
look at
wipe
me.
his nose.
I don't want him to talk to me. I just don't want to be near him. He is the scariest part of that game. for me.
Where are his parents to wipe his nose?
They are... Well, one's busy in the grass trying to catch a pig. Who they name after you. Rude. And...
Apparently, you can summon Mario, Daniel.
I can summon Mario?
Yeah, you like in this image, like your hand's just out like that, and you're like forcing Mario to appear.
That
looks really cool.
It's the Mario amiibo. That's why.
Oh, because you have all the amiibo.
Yeah. Boom.
Okay, that is great.
It is great.
I just followed you, George. Thank you so much. Did you make your Twitter just to send that?
Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, this is a brand new Twitter, man. Join May 2019.
I am your first follower.
Your second follower now.
I would be your third if I had a Twitter.
Yeah.
Come on, Elia, make a Twitter.
It's Daniel, because Daniel has endless amiibo.
I did have a Twitter, and I didn't like it.
So explain to us who everyone is, specifically Kayla.
Well, he said it's not based on any specific characters.
Oh.
So it's in the very much the Wind Waker style. For those.
Also, I think his name is pronounced Jorge.
Jorge? Oh, I'm sorry.
I think, because it started with a J.
Well, I know the...
I don't know, I pronounce it Jorge in my streams.
You know, like the top 10 scary YouTube channel, it's like Blame It on George or whatever, and his name's spelled like that?
Oh. I had no idea.
I don't know. I'm going to copy a link to this tweet. All of you guys in the chat can go and check it out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Retro, I'm pretty sure the amiibo would go to his son.
That is correct.
And thank you, Jessica, about my hair. It's not that I plan on growing it out. It's just I would say that I am afraid of change. Not really afraid of change, but it's like I don't know how I want my hair cut, and I think it looks fine the way it is, and I would rather keep it fine than have it cut and it look bad. But I cover it up with the hat anyways, so I don't think it matters. Until E3. We have a video planned where Daniel's going to wear a hat, if he does it. Or Gibbs. Gibbs can be the actor. I don't know.
I'm fine with anything.
Yeah.
I'm good.
If I have any regrets about not going to E3, it's that I legit was planning a dance, an easy dance to teach you guys to make a stupid video of us doing it.
The video this year is going to be really stupid.
It is.
Did you read what the
video last year was superbly dumb?
No, I didn't read what the plan was for this year.
Okay,
I don't know because I have been in and out.
It was supposed to be like taking that title that I mentioned earlier from that video that's like don't let your girlfriend play Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And I was just going to take it completely literal to where Daniel would be the boyfriend or the girlfriend playing Zelda that like got it as an anniversary present, and then like me, Gibbs, Kayla, or whoever was going to play his boyfriend and or girlfriend was going to be the one who gave it to Daniel, and then it was going to start out on like day one because it was going to take place like all within 7 days, and it just progresses and gets worse and worse every day. But on day one, it's basically like, you know, they just pull out their phone, vlogging or whatever. They're recording a short video, and they're like, oh, I bought my boyfriend Daniel. Sounds weird saying that, but I bought my boyfriend Daniel an 1 year anniversary present. How are you enjoying Breath of the Wild on the Switch? And he'd be like, oh, it's awesome. It's great. And then the next day, like basically it would be me or Kayla or whoever picking it up, the phone again, recording a video for day two, being like, oh, Daniel must really love it. He hasn't put it down at all. He stayed up late last night playing it. And then on the third day,
all of us.
Yeah, and on the third day, it's like, oh, we have a reservation at this restaurant. Let's go have dinner. And Daniel's like, oh, just give me a minute. And then like it cuts to like an hour or two later, and Daniel's at the restaurant playing the game, and he hasn't ate any of his food. And then day 4 happens, and like Daniel's just completely silent, and he had like called in to work, or not called in, he just like skipped work. So the person comes home and sees Daniel sitting on the couch playing it, and they're like, did you go to work today? Like, why are you home 3 hours early or whatever? And Daniel doesn't say anything because Link doesn't say anything. So it's like, and then the next day happens, so like day 5, I think, and Daniel is wearing the same clothes, like he hasn't moved at all. And
sounds like me.
me or Kayla or whoever person 2 would be like, Daniel, we have guests coming over tomorrow for dinner. At least take a shower and change your clothes. Like, that's the least you can do. You're sleeping on the couch. And then the next day comes, and Daniel did change clothes, but he's wearing, like, a Link hat and a shirt that looks like the Breath of the Wild shirt. And all throughout the dinner with the guests, he's just playing Breath of the Wild the whole time. And then, like, it ends up on day 7 to where they have, like, an intervention for him for playing Zelda. Yeah, and Kayla or whoever just looks at the camera at the end of the video and is like, please don't let your boyfriends or girlfriends play Breath of the Wild.
Yep. And now none of the people watching the stream need to watch the video when we make it. Cause
no, they do, because it's gonna be great.
Oh, I wish I could act in that.
It'll be a time. It'll be a fun time.
Yeah.
This I'm loving this. I just have this fan art that I just saved it on my phone. I'm gonna. I don't.
Y'all have to send it to me.
I'm shocked about this. Can I put this on Instagram? Everything. I want. It's so good. It's superbly well done. I can't stop looking at it. I'm sorry. I'm closing the chat. I'm just making this fan art up.
Also, I'll be right back. I need to grab my glasses.
All right. No! When you get back, we can officially begin.
Officially begin.
But yeah, that's our video.
Well done. It's gonna be a fun video.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot more work than our video last year, which was
it's not going to actually take 7 days to make, but
no, true. Yes.
I want to see the Kingdom of Hyrule rebuilt on Tuesday. What happens Tuesday?
Retros, when's the next stream planned?
Oh.
And the answer is on Tuesday.
We have the title for the stream, but okay. So it was on the old title for me, and then I refreshed, and now it's on the new title.
What is the difference to different titles?
The other one was Fake Gamer Girl Plays Twilight Princess, because Tubes was streaming Twilight Princess. So there aren't new Breath of the Wild rumors, because Breath of the Wild's already been out for like 2.5 years. Or, yeah, 2.5 years? Right?
Yep, almost 2.5 years.
Yeah. So the idea for that topic was we would look at Breath of the Wild or Zelda Wii U rumors, and as like sort of a retrospective, I can't talk. And then we would see how insanely horrible they were, or how close they were to being correct. Because what made me think about it was one of the rumors says that there apparently is a dungeon in Zelda Wii U, as it was known at the time, that was going to be larger than Hyrule Field was in a normal Zelda game, which there ended up being like no real... Oh, Aaron, $5, thank you. So what would you guys think of a dual weapon wielding Link? I think... Sorry, Daniel.
Depends on the weapons, but you go ahead.
I was going to say, like, in games like the original Link's Awakening, to where you have to pick 2 separate items anyways, it should theoretically be, because, like, you have to pick the shield, which he holds in one hand, and then you have to pick the sword, which he holds in the other hand. And then if you
doesn't really count as a weapon, though.
No, but like if you change the shield,
have to equip it.
Yeah, if you change the shield to like a bomb or an arrow or something, then he's not like holding both at the same time, but he's technically like you can just tap A or B to use either or. And then in some Zelda games, like was it the Oracle games that first had it to where you could like use the bomb and the arrow together. Like if you placed a bomb and shot it with an arrow, it would like push the bomb with it.
Can you
Like
do that?
you were basically using a bomb arrow, but they're not combined. So it would be technically dual wielding. And then I guess fans just did it so many times and Nintendo heard about it that whenever they made Twilight Princess, they just gave you bomb arrows.
Yep. This is how it is now.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's quite what Aaron meant.
No.
Dual,
No, I know what he means though, like holding two swords.
Yeah. I mean, it really depends. I like personally, even in games where dual wielding is a big thing, I really like having the balance of a sword and shield. Balance your offense and defense, but you know.
I like parrying, so.
Except in Skyward Sword, to where like you get used to it, and then when you play a normal Zelda game, it just feels weird. Because like in Skyward Sword, you have to kind of punch with the nunchuck to like knock stuff back. So if you go from playing Skyward Sword to like Ocarina of Time or something, you guys may not do it, but I do. Sometimes, like the first hour of playing it, I notice if I'm like knocking back a Deku scrub thing, my left hand will kind of go forward with the controller because like I'm still trying to use reflexes. Yeah.
Not me.
And then to do spin attacks in Twilight Princess, like you have to like swing both hands at the same time.
No, that is Skyward Sword. Twilight
Princess, you do it as well.
You had to do the nunchuck. You got to do the waggle with the nunchuck for a spin attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Skyward Sword was the two ones. Although I've always been partial to doing the quick spin with the thumbstick for a spin attack. That just feels the most natural to me. But what can you do?
I didn't get far in the Wii one before I returned it and waited till I could get HD so I didn't have to use motion control. Because I'm a lefty.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So are we ready? Yeah?
I think so.
Okay, we'll start with the E3 stuff. So think of what you want or think Nintendo will be releasing. And then I'll do the intro and we'll get into it.
Earth-shattering.
Pikmin
Nintendo
World.
will have... Don't get my heart beaten. I think my prediction is Nintendo will release a video game.
Maybe.
That is my...
No, technically, one of the news stories that we're going to be talking about, like Nintendo would theoretically never have to release a game again because they could just like stream them all.
No,
well, that's
I like physical copies.
I'm very big on my physical games, but
yeah, we can tell. I like the physical games too. That's like.
What do you mean we can tell?
No.
What are you talking about?
And then like the vouchers that they released on the last Nintendo Direct, to where it's like you can save $20 on 2 games.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think I would rather pay the $10 extra for the physical box and cartridge.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
On the off chance you don't like it, you can resell it.
Yeah.
That's
right.
my thinking anyway.
Are we ready?
That's true.
Yep.
Okay.
Like emotionally?
I'm never emotionally ready for the podcast.
I was about to be like, I never am.
We're on the same page then.
All right. Hello everyone. Wait, are we doing it? Yeah, it's recording.
Who knows?
Streaming.
What?
All right. Hello everyone. I am Jesse, or Game Over Jesse. Welcome to the Hylian Gamescast. Today we have Daniel and the returning Ilya. On today's Hylian Gamescast, we're going to be discussing our Nintendo E3 predictions. We're going to be taking a look back at old Breath of the Wild or Zelda Wii U rumors and seeing how crazy or correct they were. And then comparing that to the rumors that we have now for the next Zelda game. So, yeah. I just thought it would be fun because there's a specific rumor that always intrigued me, and I want to get your guys' opinion on it. But we'll get to that later. And of course, we will end with the Zelda Mailbag, answering all of your Zelda questions. So if you have any questions, try to save them for the very end, and then we will answer some of them. And yeah, I think that's it, right? Yeah.
Patrons?
Oh yeah, sorry. I wasn't looking at the actual doc. Okay.
Forget.
Yeah, sorry. No, so if you guys haven't noticed, it's been a while since we've done the podcast. So I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm not even in my bedroom. Yeah, so if you want to guarantee to have your question answered or some other cool stuff that's over on the Patreon page, you can help support us. Just as Wildhorse64, Samuel, Ranjamin, Foxo, Andrew. Sorry, I looked and I seen Daniel with his head like poked over, and I was like, what happened to Daniel's head? Jonathan, David, Amanda, Jacob, Derek, Blargnar, Michelle, Mandy Lee, Plays, Michael, Elmer, Bootleg Boy, Vortex, Gus, Monica, Link Use the Triforce, Lunarium, Shadow to Us, Rusty, Lovable Christy, Fallen Echo, and Halo Justin. Thank you all for your Patreon support. So, Daniel, our first topic. What happened to your head?
It was cut off.
Yeah.
But it's back.
Is it?
That's good.
It took a lot of effort, but
I was
no
worried
more
for a moment.
guillotines.
Yeah. I was worried for a moment.
It's okay. I'll be all right. I've survived worse. So
I'm glad to hear. No, so our first topic for today is Nintendo E3 next month.
Yes.
For their Nintendo Direct, just get into it. Daniel, do you have what's your first prediction? We'll go around, I guess, with two. Yeah.
Two.
Yeah, and then we'll do like a crazy off the wall prediction.
Okay.
So, what's your first, Daniel?
So we're talking like pipe dream sort of predictions, or just like what I actually think will happen?
Well, two would be what you actually think, and then the third is the crazy.
All right. So I'll start with what I.
Miyamoto puts himself as a DLC character in Smash Bros.
His final Smash is he invents his opponent.
No, he just cancels your game.
He can't.
So you never existed.
He turns your game into Star Fox.
Kidding.
But okay, so one prediction. Ilya's gonna hate me for stealing this one from her. I genuinely think that coming up soon, they're gonna at least show us some Animal Crossing.
That actually wasn't the one I was gonna say, but
I'm not the Animal Crossing fan among us, but just gauging the timing of everything, I think that
it's been too long.
It's been too long. They've announced that it's happening. They haven't shown anything.
Back in September.
They did tease us though.
It was way back in September.
With Tom Nook lost the kids. But yep. So that's just my favorite meme about Animal Crossing. Anyways, so that's my first one. Do you want me to jump into the second one?
No, we'll rotate. So Ilya.
That's all I got for that. Ilya, take us away.
I think we are either going to get a release date for, or be given at the announcement something having to do with Cadence of Hyrule. Because it said spring, and even though I don't understand why part of June is still considered spring, but that's because I'm a Floridian and it's stupidly hot year-round. Technically, spring does not end till June 20th, so it needs to come out soon. So I think with Cadence, they're either going to be like, hey, it's going to release June something around, or because E3 is in June. Or they're going to be like, hey, remember Cadence of Hyrule? Here it is. Download it now.
They have a tendency to do that, too.
Yeah.
It's like, it's out today.
Because I wonder if that's going to have a physical copy or not.
I don't think it will.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Tomb of the Necrodancer did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think this is going to sell like 10 times more than that did, though.
Oh, probably.
And it'll probably end up selling a lot of the original one that it's from too, because people will be like, "Oh, what's this? Good advertisement for the indie game."
Oh yeah,
it's true. So
I could see that.
Even doing a double release, like
like bundle them together for like $30 or $40.
Yeah, that would pay. I'd
pay
for that.
Yeah, like you save $5 total or something if you buy both or something.
Yeah.
So something will happen with Cadence of Hyrule because spring is ending. So
even if Nintendo doesn't publish it, there are like limited edition publishers, like certain indie games will be published through like very limited releases. I want to say Shovel Knight did that, and some other games like Ukulele I think had some. I might be mistaken.
Did have some physical release.
Ukulele's half off right now, and I'm really tempted to buy it.
Ooh, so am I.
Yeah, it's on half off for $20. So
still haven't bought it, so I know.
Yeah, like Celeste is another indie game that had a physical release, and then if they publish Super Meat Boy, wow. That's not one I would have expected. If they do publish it, and it's like a rare limited edition type of game, I would like to see it come with like an amiibo of some sort. But I just want more Zelda amiibo because they look cool.
So what's your prediction, Jessup?
I think this might sound odd at first, but it's not really that big of a prediction or crazy. Basically, I think we will see at least 3 Zelda games be talked about. So the spin-off Cadence of Hyrule, Link's Awakening, and I think there will be another one. Even if it's just like the Metroid Prime 4 treatment, to where they're like, and here's the title. Yeah, I think it'll be something like that.
They usually delay like actually showing the title until much closer to the release.
Well,
now they do.
They do.
Like even
but
Zelda 64 was.
I want to say that they usually don't confirm something Zelda related is actually being worked on until like around the time that they do the whole title thing or a screenshot or something. But they've already announced that they're working on the next Zelda game, and Nintendo announced they were working on the next 2D Zelda game, whether or not that's Link's Awakening or Link's Awakening's being made by one of their other studios like Grezzo or whoever. And then Monolith Soft like publicly announced that they were hiring specifically for something Zelda related, and then like a week after they hired people, they announced that they created an entirely new team. So there's like 4 or 5 different Zelda things that they've told us is being worked on, and I expect, or at least would like to see, at least a title or something that they would be like, yes, it's coming. Even if it's something like they did when Zelda Wii, as it was known, was first mentioned. It was at what is it called? Like Nintendo's round table thing where they're talking to investors, and it was something similar to what they did with Pokemon. Or not Pokemon, Metroid Samus Returns, to where like they had their Nintendo Direct, and then they had like something after, and they showed off the new Metroid game, and everyone was like, why is that not on the Direct?
The Treehouse live stream.
But they did something with Zelda Wii, where what would become Skyward Sword, to where they just showed off artwork of Link standing with his back turned, and then Fi was
no sword.
Yeah, and it was even in the style of Twilight Princess. It wasn't even in the actual style of Skyward Sword. And they showed that off, and I remember at the time everyone was like, "Why wasn't this in the Nintendo Direct?" Like, this is something.
Painting.
Yeah, like it was just a screenshot, but still, like, it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my thing. A third Zelda game being talked about.
I do agree. I think Link's Awakening is an inevitability. But,
Absolutely.
yeah. So I guess we're up to round 2 now.
Yeah.
My second prediction is not just the announcement of, but the release of the second Fighters Pass Smash Bros DLC character.
Now you stole it.
Oh, did I? That wasn't the one I thought I was stealing from you. But
Animal Crossing was more of the pipe dream one.
Thank you, Sean.
Okay.
Sean in the chat says, "Love your channel. I subscribed this morning."
Wow, so nice.
Which video made you subscribe?
Yes,
I bet it was one of Ilia's.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think that they'll pull that card where they're just like, this is the new character. Here's a whole bunch of info. He's out today.
Oh wow.
Everyone's gonna be like, oh wow, and we're all gonna be rushing to download it. Like, we're gonna rush back to the Airbnb and download it.
I got.
Except me.
I have something to add on to yours. So,
Okay.
I think they will have a thing where it's like, this is our new character, and he's available today. But I think they'll also tease or show off the next character. So, like, here's character number 2.
2 is out, and 3
And
is
then
coming, basically.
Here's character number 3 that will release in a couple months or whatever. Because is it supposed to last for 1 year, the DLC pack, or is it supposed to be spread across 2 years?
I don't know, actually.
Because if it's...
Smash 4's, I think, was spread over 2 years.
Yeah. Well, even if it's spread
Smash
over
4's took...
2 years, there's 5 characters.
Yeah.
So that would be 5 characters
6
over 2 years. How many months would that be in between?
Like, every 4 months.
Yeah,
So-
like every 4 to 5 months.
Yeah.
4, yeah.
So, Luke in the chat says, no Chewie. She's taking a brain break today. It's
Yeah.
all good.
Plus Game of Thrones was on earlier, so... Or
Yeah.
now. I don't know when it's on.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, like, if anyone's like, anyone just drop it like that on the release date, Nintendo does that all the time.
All the
including
time.
last year at E3 for the called the Octo expansion for Splatoon.
They released it
yeah.
at E3?
They released it, yeah. They had a bunch of trailers and stuff, and then they showed it off, and then they were like, it's out today, and we were all like, wow. At least Gibbs and I were downloading it right on the spot there.
I remember
Like the
everyone...
year
we were
before
trying
was
to-
the Breath of the Wild
we were-
DLC, wasn't it?
But yeah, they were like, they showed a new trailer, and they're like, hey, guess what, guys?
Oh,
Like, we
yeah,
knew it
yeah.
was coming, so they didn't.
No,
they didn't announce it and then just drop it.
They gave
but
you
they
the extras, though.
give us the extras.
Yeah.
Like the bonus stuff. That's like... You had
yes.
DLC Pack 1, DLC Pack 2, but then you also had that Nintendo Switch shirt and something else.
Yes, they did that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nintendo does this all the time, basically. Is what
Yeah.
they just are like, yeah.
But I'm
just
sure
drop it
everyone's
on the
wanting to
spot.
know, Daniel. You told us that you think they will show off and be like, here's the new DLC person, but who do you think it's going to be? And if they do a
honestly-
thing to where it's like, and here's number 3, expect in a few months, what do you think that would be?
Honestly, like, there's so much I want to speculate, but lately, like, Smash 4 onwards, I have not been able to predict the new characters. I have been so off the mark predicting the Smash Bros. Characters, like who they'll add to the roster. Like, Little Mac? Who would have thought that they would add Little Mac? And then they pull in, like, Cloud and Corrin and Bayonetta and just all these characters that I'm like, I never would have expected this. Like, holy cow. So, I mean, I do think it'll probably be a third-party character of some kind, but, like, yeah, they pull out these really fleshed out, really good characters. But, like, would anyone here, no one can say that they expected Piranha Plant
No.
to be a Smash character. Like,
If they say that, they're flat out lying.
they're lying. Yeah.
No.
Like, there's some that make sense, like K. Rool. Okay, cool. Crom, sure. Like a bunch of characters that were basically Mii fighter costume.
Oh, Daniel, did you tell Kayla about the fan art?
No, I didn't have to. She already retweeted.
Oh, okay.
She already saw it.
Didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just thinking.
No, it's all good. I did have to text a screenshot of it to my wife though. But
what'd she say?
I was like, she hasn't replied yet.
Okay.
But
I was just like, since Jorge or George, let us know how to pronounce your name, because I don't want to keep saying George if I'm wrong.
Or George.
George.
We can go right in the middle.
Because since he is live and he made Twitter just to send us, I was hoping, because he's seen our responses live, so I was just hoping that we could be like, oh, and Chubes said this. But apparently she retweeted it, so you can look on your Twitter.
She said, I love the Chewbacca messenger bag you gave me. Except that in all caps. I just didn't feel like yelling. But it is fantastic. It is such good.
And I love that it's based on Wind Waker. I'm like, oh, that's like my favorite Zelda game. So
Illy is right.
Because both... I started it first. But both Chublima and I started streaming Wind Waker on Twitch as well. So,
it's true.
Not at the same time. We're not doing the race thing, or that wasn't the intention. So, but yes, there's a lot of Wind Waker on the brain lately. Because Jesse, you and Rick are doing Wind Waker as well, right?
Yeah.
Race.
Rick hung out with the Commonwealth people today.
He was with Commonwealth, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
So,
I hope we get to see Conrad again this year in E3, because I know we're supposed to meet Ed, Mr. Zeltic, and
the chamber people, which I assume you guys will be coming with us, but we were trying to get like a big dinner with all of the chamber people, but then HMK posted something about him not going this year. So
yeah, I saw that.
That's surprising.
Because he just went to Japan, so.
I mean, that's.
He's fair. Like, he ain't got money.
Yeah.
But where were we at? Predictions?
Right.
Predictions,
right.
So.
Anyways, you asked me who the fighter I would predict to be.
Yes.
No idea is my point. I have no idea. I'm sure if I did enough digging around, like people are saying things like Minecraft Steve is going to be it. I don't think so. I would love Banjo-Kazooie or Shovel Knight, but I know it won't be Shovel Knight because he's already a assist trophy.
Yeah. Well, if you remember last year, the president...
I think like an indie character probably, to be honest. Like not even just a third-party character. I want to see an indie character, really, but...
What if... I doubt they would, but what if they put the main girl from Crypt of the Necrodancer?
Oh,
that would be cool.
Yeah.
Or like Shantae is another one people are asking for a lot too.
Oh, I've heard that one, yeah.
Didn't they add a bunch of new stickers or assist trophies or something like a week or two ago?
Did they?
Because I remember I downloaded an update and it was like, I don't know, whatever it said, I don't know. But there was like new stickers and stuff, and I didn't play anything to unlock them. So
I would love Impa, honestly, as like almost like a heavier Echo fighter to Sheik.
Yeah.
But more of a balanced, heavier fighter, whereas Sheik is super lightweight in Smash.
Did you see the Ganondorf mod for Zelda, or I was gonna say Zelda 64 for Smash Bros 64?
I did see that. It was really well done.
Yeah.
I mean, they basically just took Captain Falcon and modded Captain Falcon with a Ganondorf skin and made him heavier. But
that's what they did in Melee.
Pretty much what Melee's Ganondorf was also, like 100%. So it works perfectly.
There was a news story earlier about Smash Bros, but I didn't put it on the list because it was just like, I felt like it was the same. You know how I always talk about, like, I don't see why people, like, whenever they announce something and then a few months later they'll announce the exact same thing and everyone will cover it again as if it's still new information. Yeah. It was kind of the same thing where Sakurai was talking about how he decides what to use and like content that gets cut out or saved for the next game or whatever. And I'm like, I feel like he gives those same answers every time the game comes out, or like every time a new Smash comes out, and then every like Yeah.
Same with Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because people are like, I want all of the stuff that they deleted from the game. I'm like, yeah, probably used it in the next game.
Yeah.
So you technically got it.
Like,
there was an interview with Onum I saw where basically someone was like, oh, or they I can't remember how long it was I saw this, but it was when he was talking about Wind Waker HD. He said fans were asking me to put the cut dungeons back into the game, but to be honest, we already used them in other Zelda games, so there'd be no point. And I'm like, dang, yeah.
Just like the next Zelda game will probably have really awesome swimming mechanics, possibly.
That would be really nice. Okay, because I mean, the swimming in Twilight Princess was pretty passable, and then Skyward Sword was also decent.
Do you know what I really loved about Twilight Princess?
The
wolf.
And the horse.
They made Link faster.
Faster.
Yeah, like when he's climbing, and I think when he has the iron boots and everything as well. Like he's not twice as fast, but he's like a fraction of the speed faster.
Mm-hmm.
Because
but you know what I realized, like going back and playing on my Twitch, like a lot of older Zelda games and the N64 Zelda games, and now Wind Waker is, you know what? The sprinting in Breath of the Wild, I miss that. I will take sprinting over somersaulting everywhere any day.
Oh my gosh.
Do you guys want to see a weird email that I just got from someone who wants us to check out their game? This is literally the title of the email.
It's blurry.
It's blurry.
Is it blurry? I bet you won't fall in love with flies this summer. Excuse me?
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about that.
That's their email for us to promote their game. I bet you'll fall in love with flies. And I'm like, no.
I don't think I will.
I won't.
You can get your flies and mosquitoes and your ladybugs and go away.
I'm in Florida. I get enough of that crap.
That's it.
There he is. Appalachian Red Fox.
I know we probably need to move on, but that makes me think I saw a really funny meme. I'm not. This makes me sound like I'm a horrible person, but this is how I am in my head.
Finally.
It said the one joy about summer is it gives me an excuse to slap people at random and blame it on mosquitoes.
Love it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna start doing that to my customers. I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness.
So
most of them are on the phone, so I can't do that.
Question for you guys. Third up in the chat is Appalachian Red Fox. I'm sure you all have seen in 99% of the videos he posts that same thing.
Yes.
Even when it's not a podcast, he'll still say it's the best.
The best?
Yeah. Right now he says the best Hylian's Gamescast in the world, but sometimes he's like, this is the best YouTube channel in the world, this is the best Zelda channel in the world, best Zelda podcast. Does he go to your guys' videos?
I have no idea. I don't think I've noticed him.
The only person who watches my video is Chicken.
Yeah.
So, they're the only ones.
So
I watch the music videos.
What's your second thing, Ilya?
Yes.
My second thing. It's not. I had like 3 things written down as things that I was like, okay, this is 4 things, excuse me, that I was like, this is probably definitely going to be said. Animal Crossing was already mentioned. The Smash DLC, whatever I said last time, Cadence. I know we kind of touched on it, but I feel like there's got to be something. Actually, no, something new. Something about Pokemon Sword and Shield, maybe. I don't know for sure. That might be a separate thing.
No, I think you're right. I don't know why I didn't even think of it.
Well, it doesn't have to be just at E3. It could be like not at least something at E3, but not just their direct.
It's supposed to come out this year, like end of this year.
Probably around the same time Let's Go did.
So what did
games came out last year, and they had a big section of their E3 show floor just Pokemon. The one we never got to go to because the wait time was like 4 hours to get into the line to wait another 3 hours.
Yeah.
But we skipped.
I don't know if they'll make it as big of a deal as the Let's Go games, because I know the point of advertising those so hardcore was to get some new people or old Pokemon players back into it.
Mm-hmm.
So now they might be like, okay, we're going to have an easier time advertising this. But I feel like there's a good chance they're going to at least talk about it somewhat. I mean, I know Game Freak could do their own thing, but, you know.
Oh.
So there could be something about Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Do you think it'll be during the direct, or do you think it'll just be like its own thing? Like how whenever they showed off Sun and Moon for the first time, they had like 2 hours of it on the treehouse.
Was it 2 hours?
I don't know.
Well, they had like the one year the treehouse was dedicated to Breath of the Wild, and the next year was the year they were like Metroid 3DS, and they showed it like it began with that.
Right.
For like 15 minutes, and then they just played Pokemon the rest of the time.
I think it depends on what they're going to be showing off. If they're going to be giving maybe a release date and only a release date, then maybe it would just be part of the Direct. But I feel like it would have its own separate thing if they're going to start showing off more of the newer Pokemon. I mean, maybe they could fit that into a Direct, but I don't know. It seems like the Directs are usually pretty jam-packed, so they might give that its own separate thing if they're going to be showing off the newer Pokemon. I don't know. I haven't been in the Pokemon world long enough to really be sure, because I was in it when my brothers had Red and Blue, and I played Yellow because Pikachu, and that's all I cared about. Didn't know what was happening, and I did like Stadium and Snap, and now I've done Let's Go, so I can't speak on that too much. So, I don't know.
Pokemon is odd in the sense that they had...
It is odd.
No, so in Japan they had red and green Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then they had blue and red. And then they came out with yellow.
And Bulbasaur is my favorite of those three starters.
The first generation didn't, like the first generation, didn't release in America. But I think they did the same thing with Pokemon Stadium, to where they had a Pokemon Stadium that only had like a limited number, and then they released a second Pokemon Stadium that had the full roster of red and blue, and then they had the actual gold and silver Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I remember we had both. I wonder, maybe, I don't want to go too off topic, but I wonder, because it seems like most releases of Pokemon games have had like a random third. Red and Blue had Yellow. And I can't remember any of the other ones off the top of my head, because I feel like Ruby and Sapphire had Emerald. So
yeah,
I'm like, what would the third thing for Sword and
Crystal
Shield be?
Not
because not all of. See, I was thinking like bow and arrow or something.
Arrow actually sounds really cool.
I could, because I'm just wondering. I mean, not every dual release of Pokemon, which they're all dual releases. Not every single one of them's had them. I had this conversation with my brother, which is why I thought about this. But I'm like, what would they do for Sword and Shield?
I could see
that magazine that accidentally advertised Sword, Shield, and Gun. Still the funniest like Pokemon.
Yeah. And then they had
they goofed that one.
I mean, they legit like got rid of episodes of Pokemon that had guns in them.
Yeah, exactly.
I realistically think that the third for Sword and Shield, because like a few days after they announced Sword and Shield during the podcast, Daniel and I were talking, and I was thinking that if they took it literal, then they could have like the new animated Pokemon movie that's coming out is like a retelling of Mewtwo, but it's not just Mewtwo, it's the armored Mewtwo from like when he was made, and he's wearing like the gear to suppress his power or whatever. And it made me think, like, are they going to take the Sword and Shield stuff literal? And like they're calling it Sword and Shield, and they're going to like basically use it as armor. And then like the next week we ended up talking about how Nintendo had filed trademarks for armored Mewtwo. And then with its third game, because I can't really think of anything that's as catchy as Sword and Shield, so I wonder if it would be Pokemon Armor. Because like
Helmet.
Yeah, but like Helmet, like that's the thing though, like Helmet doesn't sound as catchy. Or
no, and like the only other thing from like the time, like medieval-ish time period of like Sword and Shield, I could think it was like archery, but I'm like, how do you?
Yeah.
Bow.
Pokemon Archer.
Arrow.
I don't know.
Arrow.
But the thing is, the past few years, they stopped doing the third game because they realized they could just make more money by releasing 2 more additional Pokemon games instead of just 1. So like instead of Red, Blue, and Yellow, and Gold, Silver, and crystal or whatever, platinum.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Ruby, sapphire, and emerald.
Yeah, they started having black, white. Everyone thought they were going to have gray. They ended up releasing black, white too. Then they had XY. Everyone thought they were going to have Z. But then they ended up just releasing like the chapter Z or something like that as like an end game for the next remake they made. So Alpha Ruby or Omega Sapphire, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was like ultra versions of.
Yeah, and then they had
games.
the Z crystal or whatever, and like the chapter Z, which was like after you beat the game, it was just like a end game chapter, and then Sun and Moon. Everyone thought they were going to do stars or whatever, or eclipse, and then they just ended up doing Ultra Sun and Moon. So I could see them just doing a thing to where it's like Sword and Shield 2, or Ultra Sword and Ultra Shield or whatever.
Because I remember thinking like they could release star, and then I was like, no, the sun is a star.
Yeah.
So
yes. If you want to
like
get
celestial body, asteroid, well, that could be the moon. But Jesse, what's your second prediction?
Yeah, Jesse. Sheesh.
Okay.
Sorry.
Going back with Pokemon. I think Detective Pikachu 2 or Detective Pikachu Deluxe or whatever for the Switch. So like HD version of Detective Pikachu, because the Detective Pikachu movie did so great. And they may even, like, if they had the extra money, I don't know. I'm sure Pokemon and Game Freak, or the Pokemon Company and Game Freak and Nintendo, I know they do have the extra money. And so I think they could possibly even, I don't know if they would do it. I don't know if fans would like it. But I was just thinking if they recast Detective Pikachu and had Ryan Reynolds do the voice like he did in the movie, and then...
Well, he literally is saying in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Boom, millions sold instantly.
Yeah.
And Ryan Reynolds would probably do it if they paid him enough. He would be like, yeah, my voice is in a freaking video game.
Oh, he'd love it, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I mean, just, it's Ryan Reynolds.
Well, I was thinking if they would have thought ahead of time, like while he was doing the lines for the Detective Pikachu movie, they could have just had him do lines for the game at the same time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And then a lot of games you don't even go, like I'm sure he did for the movie, but a lot of voice actors will like go to their extra room or their closet where they have like a makeshift recording studio.
Depending on the level of the project.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on what it is. Low level stuff like commercials and whatnot, they might just have you do the stuff I do. They're like, do you have a good studio? Great. I'm like, yes, it's called my closet.
Yeah, but that would be my second thing, is like some sort of Switch version of Detective Pikachu. Because I seen earlier they said that, well, they've been interviews for like, since the movie came out, about the writers and the directors being like, yeah, we would love to make like a Zelda movie or a Metroid movie or a Smash Bros movie, or like, we have ideas for everything. And I'm like, sure you do. Because who doesn't want to be like, it's great enough being the people that made the first live-action official Pokemon movie, but it would be something else entirely to be like, we made the first like theatrical Zelda movie. I would say the first theatrical Mario movie, but that was done about 20 years ago.
Yeah, but
they need to leave my Zelda alone.
I think Ilya and I are the only people on the same page about this.
I know!
I think we're the only people who are just like,
well,
a Zelda movie? Nah.
I get it. I get asked about it on my stream all the time, and I'm like, guys,
you have a video.
The very first video on my channel.
They can go watch your video.
Because people will like comment, and I know that they have like the best of intentions, but they're like, "Oh, I have such a good idea for a Zelda movie," and I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, it's such. Oh no.
Ilya,
She
froze.
You froze. Like that's how much you were against the idea. You just cut. Your internet cut right out.
I have an actual real script that was presented to Nintendo for a Zelda movie. So.
By who? Did you write this script?
No. It was Oliver.
Oh, really?
That directed that Zelda scene.
Yeah.
Where they're like in the church basement for the dungeon thing.
With Orion.
Yeah.
As Link.
I will say I enjoyed that, except for Navi.
That was one scene out of an entire script.
Yes, but
yeah.
I mean, Orion was. I mean, he played the role. It's hard to say, like playing Link is like good.
That's why I'm laughing, because he's just silent the whole time.
Pretty much the thing is that he had to play that whole scene and express everything with no dialogue, and he nailed it. And that, as an actor, that's hard to just have no dialogue but have to still express everything.
The irony is him being a singer for a band, to where like he makes a living traveling around
using his voice.
Yeah, he makes a living using his voice around the world, and
totally.
He gets cast in a movie, and they're like, "Okay, where's my lines at?" Like,
none.
No, we just needed your pretty face. Just sit there and
just emote.
And the girl that was Sheik was really good too.
Yeah.
She was really good. Yeah, I was
like, don't give me a whole movie of this, but this scene is excellent.
This was a great 2 minutes.
And again, like you can make good scenes. There's another really good fan-made project. It's like it's called "You Met with a Terrible Fate."
Yeah.
Like that.
The brilliant Shadow Fox says, "I want a Zelda movie made by Nintendo and Studio Ghibli for $5. Thank you."
Studio Ghibli is a good choice.
There was a fan trailer made in like the style of Studio Ghibli for Breath of the Wild.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
It was pretty cool.
But
you should go watch it, Shadow Fox.
Studio Ghibli films are very
they have very good looking
melancholic. Food. They do have very good looking food, but there's a lot of melancholy in those films. There's not as much in Zelda. I don't know. I think it could work if I really had to be like, this is the way. That might be a good choice. But again, I'm of the camp of like they just shouldn't make a Zelda.
Right. It's like just it's not gonna be the same because it's not a game, and Zelda's supposed to be a game. I'm all for if the aesthetic of Zelda inspired a movie where they had like almost like Easter eggs that were like, these are hints of how it was inspired by The Legend of Zelda, but it's not The Legend of Zelda.
But okay, Jorge in the chat says the director, the character is actually mute. If they had to make the Zelda movie, you cannot make Link mute. You can't do it.
He
has to talk.
It'll ruin it.
He has to talk.
He has to meow.
Has to. Meow. Of course. You can't.
Because he does talk
I just thought
in
of
the
a
games,
perfect
you
scene
just
where
don't
they could
hear
do
it.
that.
That's the thing, yeah. But
he's just a very introspective,
so
portrayed
Link
character.
Sneaks into Ganon's castle to steal something, or to take back something that was stolen, and Ganon and the Moblins or Bokoblins, whatever they use, are all just like, "Did you guys hear something?" And it's Link like next to the wall, and he just makes a meow sound. And then they just go back to doing whatever.
They're like, okay.
Okay. Another quick funny side story. One of my best friends was appeared in one of my most recent videos. The way we met was through one of our mutual best friends. And literally the first thing she said to me, because she was like, "This is so-and-so." I was like, "Hi, I'm blah, blah, blah." First thing she said to me, she went, "Meow." And I was like,
wow.
4 years later, we are best friends.
Nice.
I was like, what is wrong with her?
I don't see the problem, but
She was also wearing a onesie, and now I wear onesies.
Nice.
there you go.
Are we on to our pipe dream predictions?
Yeah, Daniel,
Oh,
you can go.
Sorry. Pipe dream predictions. I think it's too soon. If they hadn't have restarted, basically, I wouldn't think it's too soon. But because they did, I do think it's too soon. But I really want Metroid Prime 4.
Yep.
Please, Nintendo. Just give me something. So yeah, that's my pipe dream prediction. It's just in theory they could have something to show, even
if they've worked
concept
quick
art and
enough.
stuff. Yeah.
I don't
They probably
see
don't.
Metroid taking nearly as long as Breath of the Wild did.
No.
Okay, no, not as long as Breath of the Wild did, but still, Metroid.
I could see it taking 2 to 3 years to completely finish, as opposed to 5 or 6.
It took them a few years to do the first Prime game and the third one.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime 2, I think, was developed in like 1 year, which is insane. But they pretty much.
It was supposed to be Metroid 1.5. We covered that in a video.
There's some really neat cut concepts for Metroid Prime 2, but including a rogue AI ship thing, which I thought is a really cool idea. But they were able to reuse so much from Prime 1, much like Majora's Mask, they were able to. The cookie?
Yeah. Because the people at Metroid Prime or Metroid Prime 2, they had like the cookies they sent out to press whenever they reviewed the game. It was like Metroid Prime cookies. And some people kept them, so they're like 20-year-old moldy cookies. Like, but they're still wrapped up, so it probably doesn't stink, but it's still horrible.
It's still an old cookie.
I would honestly be even more concerned if it's lasted.
Oh yeah.
If it has not gone bad.
If it has not gone bad, that's even more concerning because it's like what's in that?
There's the video someone made a few years ago of like they threw a McDonald's cheeseburger on the street, and like a few days later, like it hadn't done, or not a few days, but like a week later, it wasn't like moldy or anything on the bread or cheese.
That's really concerning.
Like it looked almost the same. So.
Wow. I've seen that actually where someone did a comparison. They took a bunch of food and like basically put it in a jar and let it go bad just to see like how fast food goes bad. And then like the McDonald's food just like it just took like a ridiculously long time to even change how it looked.
Yeah. It's like even the bread.
I haven't had McDonald's in 11 years.
It's bread. How do you make bread horrible?
Abigail in the chat, yeah, pretty much. But Abigail in the chat says, "How realistic?"
Okay,
is
we can get back to that.
Yes, we will get back to that. But Ilya, what's your pipe dream?
Oh gosh, I had two. What were they? Oh my gosh, I had two. Okay, one is that, I mean, I guess this can fall under my dreams / it is a possibility, and that's Animal Crossing. I would love it if Animal Crossing, and for me it would be like show off stuff, release date. Because there's almost a part of me that I'm like, hey, we're getting close to the point where if they don't show something soon about it, I'm worried it's going to be pushed back to 2020. Which I would rather be pushed back than release a bad game. But I'm like, they got to show something soon. I would love a release date, and for it to be soon, like before winter or autumn. That's heavily dreaming. And then this other thing I just randomly thought of. Nothing's happened with like Mario Kart in a long time, but I was just thinking the other day when I was talking to my brother, I'm like, why haven't they brought back the concept of Double Dash? Why has that not been brought back? Literally everyone loves it. So I don't know. That's just like completely out of Westfield, whatever. Out of left field, that's what I meant to say. Out of left field, but I just want something Double Dash related because it's been a long time. I don't think anything like that would ever happen, but I just think it should happen.
Yes.
I was gonna say
like a game mode option in Mario Deluxe, just like a double dash
the option.
mode. I mean, you could do it in Mario Tennis. Why not in Mario Kart? You could
I
play
mean,
singles
even
or
if they
doubles.
have to make it like they did with like Super Mario Party, where you have to use a horizontal Joy-Con or something, but
Right.
still, like just
Something,
do
yeah,
it.
no, that would be cool.
I mean, I'd understand if they were also like you couldn't do this in online mode. That it's like, but still.
Still.
Okay. Jesse, what is your dream?
Tell us, Jesse.
I got a dream. I got some dreams. I just want to see the floating lanterns gleam.
Jesse, hurry, Jesse.
I will just say the Metroid Prime trilogy that we've seen 1,000 probably fake rumors for.
And HD Zelda ports.
Oh yeah, can I change my dream? My dream is the Zelda collection.
You know you're not allowed. You're not a human person. You're who's allowed to change
dream.
your mind.
One dream per person. That's all you get. That's it.
This is a podcast.
Well, I did true. I did true. I did two. So.
Oh, well, sorry. I guess I should have noticed. You gotta choose one to axe.
I can't be a hypocrite. So.
Yeah.
Right, so.
But yes.
I guess we're ready
Zelda
for the
ports
second thing.
Good as well. All of these are good ideas. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Zelda, come on. Nintendo, just listen.
Come on, Nintembos.
Nintembos.
Right, so are we ready for the next thing?
Yes, take us away. What's
Yes.
the next thing,
so it's
Jesse?
the Zelda rumor thing.
Zelda
Okay.
rumors.
So
This is almost, but only almost related to the video I put on my channel today as well.
yeah, the retrospective. So this
Exactly.
these are old rumors, obviously, because it's for Zelda
Does it
Wii
say
U.
September 4th, 2012?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at the
Zelda
right
coming
thing.
in 2014 will. Oh boy.
Yeah. So I thought it would be fun to look through this, and
Whoa.
in the same way that we've looked at theories and been like, well, this could be true or this is stupid. Look at this and see how the early rumors were for it, and compare that to the rumors that we kind of see now. But there really aren't any rumors for the next Zelda game, because everything that we know is stuff that's not necessarily rumors, but stuff that they've actually told us. So
I will say, just for perspective, Zelda Wii U, as it was known, was supposed to be released right after I graduated high school, going into my gap year, and it was released my senior year, or right before my senior year of college.
Nice.
Dang.
It's like, wow, that took a while.
Right.
Although, I think even when it was announced, did they say 2014 or 2015?
I thought they said 2015.
Yeah, I thought it was
That's what I was
2015.
thinking. That's what I was just thinking. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
hang on a second.
the
And then
beginning
it
of
had
my
like
sophomore
3 or
year,
4
but still.
delays.
Yeah.
All right. Are you guys ready?
See?
Yes.
All right. Hello, everyone. I am Jesse, or Game Over Jesse. Today on the Hylian Gamescast, we're going to be looking at old Zelda Wii U, or as we know now, Breath of the Wild rumors. This is a collection of, well, kind of like the biggest collection of rumors that I could find, but I think it's not really a collection. It's just all from the same rumor, really, or like the same person leaking it. Some of it is completely stupid. Some of it is kind of interesting, and I thought it would be interesting to just go through and read it and see how correct the Wii U rumors were for the rumors for Zelda Wii U, and compare that to the rumors that we're kind of seeing now for Breath of the Wild. So the first thing that I want to go in here, which you guys can look for your, like, whatever you want to talk about in this, because we'll just do one each. But the one that I'm looking for, they're using new state-of-the-art. Oh, I can't find it. I can't find the exact quote, but basically there's a paragraph in here that's talking about how there is supposedly a dungeon. So like this game's going to have about as many normal dungeons as the past games, so Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess, and some of the dungeons are supposed to be the size of a normal Hyrule field that we see in like a normal game. Like that's how huge this game is going to be, which it ended up being really huge. But like if you could, they were dungeons, they're just not like temples or whatever. They're not really that big, like they're just about the size of a normal dungeon. Like even the shrine, not shrines,
smaller.
the divine beasts.
Think about how big the fire sanctuary in Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
The game it has to actually load the dungeon in 2 separate segments because it's so big. We or underpowered Wii couldn't manage the whole dungeon loading it. So I mean, like that dungeon is massive. All of the divine beasts are smaller than that one dungeon. I think you could put all the divine beasts in that dungeon. To be fair. Sorry, Jesse.
No, it's.
I mean, I feel like that they're impressive in scale because like they're walking around the overworld and they're huge, but I think as far as dungeons go in Zelda, pretty small.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say like the biggest divine beast was about the size of the Great Deku Tree, maybe.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Which that Great Deku Tree is a dungeon that takes like 10 minutes to go through and do everything. So not that big. Like there were labyrinths that were the size of like Hyrule Field from Ocarina of Time, but those weren't really dungeons. Those were just like giant.
Those were just anxiety trips for me.
Oh.
So I climbed to the top and found where it was.
Yeah. Are you guys still looking for yours? Because the other thing that I see here is, like it says, the close to the bottom, the Zelda Wii U stuff we saw at E3 was just tech demo, nothing else. The tech demo engine was like, tech demo was even made by an entirely different team with an older engine. Those were like 2 things that Nintendo told us was like, from what Nintendo themselves told us, that wasn't true at all. Like, they created the engine just for, like, to test out the test demo so they could get practice for Breath of the Wild, and then they ended up doing Wind Waker HD in the same engine, and it was the exact same team. So, yeah. But those are, like, the things that I've seen that is just weird. Because on the one, in some way you could call the labyrinths dungeons, but they're not like real dungeons.
They're kind of their own thing.
Yeah.
They're just kind of a maze.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Ilya, what's yours?
The HD graphics, same visual style as Skyward Sword, and it's short, so I'll just read it.
It's also wrong.
Yeah. Nintendo are said to be very pleased with the art direction and visual style of Skyward Sword and are continuing this look. Of course, it'll be full HD with much improved quality compared to what we saw on the Wii. They're using a new state-of-the-art engine that's being built from the ground up in parallel with the game. That part's sort of true. It's got the most advanced visual features Nintendo has ever made and includes a lot of third-party tech like Havok for physics and rendering midware from Umbra, which was recently confirmed for the Wii U. He added, the Wii U Zelda staff you saw at E3 2011 was just a tech demo, so there was the whole thing about the tech demo. So I'm like, well, it doesn't look like Skyward Sword. I like what it looks like.
Tech demo, but
very much not like the tech demo. I mean, they did build a new engine.
But I also think I prefer Breath of the Wild's art style to Skyward Sword's, but
I like Skyward Swords because it fits with that story and it all fits.
Works, yeah.
But if they did that and just slapped everything else Breath of the Wild on it, I would no.
So there is one thing that you read that is true in there. They did use third-party tech like Havok for physics, but in saying that, the Havoc engine for physics is basically in every single game. So, yeah.
Woof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Daniel.
Here's a fun one. No online I can't read words. No online multiplayer, but will have online features. This is... but Zelda fans looking for online multiplayer will be somewhat disappointed, according to our source. Online multiplayer was never on the drawing board. That part's not true. I think that was on the drawing board.
It's been on the drawing board and then keeps getting tossed to the side.
It was literally the first thing Aonuma mentioned.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, we're redefining stuff. Like, just... Yeah, anyways. They're sticking with the tried and tested Zelda formula. That's not true.
No.
They'll have some features like Miiverse, rest in peace, and some sort of system where players can leave hints and help each other in the dungeon. That's about it. So basically what was in Wind Waker HD instead. But the online component is still very much on the drawing board, according to our insider. As far as I know, none of this online stuff has begun development as of summer 2012. It's still on paper only and will probably be one of the last things they'll add. It's not a big priority for them unless they got some separate team elsewhere working on it. So yeah, basically from the sounds of it, it looks like all of this online stuff that they're talking about in the article is made its way into Wind Waker HD.
Mm-hmm.
But not Breath of the Wild. Rest in peace, Miiverse. Silence for
Yep.
Miiverse. I was playing through Wind Waker HD on my Twitch channel. Oh, I miss Miiverse. I really miss Miiverse, guys.
Almost makes you want the Tingle Tuner back. That was my favorite part of Wind Waker when I first started playing it, because my brother hogged it. So.
Oh, yeah. And dropping bombs on you.
So the only way to get him to let me play is to abuse the Tingle Tuner, and then he'd be like, fine, you can play. Hey.
But if the Tingle bottle doesn't work anymore, might as well give us the tuner back.
Yeah. I wonder how we would use
Just
it.
saying.
They should do that on the Switch if they bring Wind Waker to it. You can connect your 3DS to it.
Yeah, they have...
that would be fun, actually.
So Miiverse is dead, but during the Direct for Mario Maker 2, they had where you could write messages and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they had...
But all the online features from the first Mario Maker remained, even though Miiverse died.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? So it's almost like it just kind of stayed in its own little bubble.
Yeah. It's, like, unique to that game.
Yeah.
It's sad. Can't get more messages in a bottle. And then, like, all of the stamps that you find in Twilight Princess are basically useless.
100% easy. Although they're still fun. It's like, oh, I got the Hylian for 8. That's great.
You can learn your alphabet.
Yeah.
Great.
So, Daniel, do you want to take us to the third news story or the first? I don't know. The Nintendo Cloud thing.
What is it?
Basically the same thing that Sony and Microsoft announced.
Yeah, you guys, if you haven't yet, Jesse made a video about news and Sony and Microsoft, and this is somewhat related to that, so you can watch that as well. But this is a rumor. It comes from website this is GoNintendo.com. We like that website. Rumor time. Nintendo is working with Microsoft Azure cloud computing service for streaming content. Nintendo has said that they keep their eye on industry trends and always consider this for future tech. That goes for the streaming and cloud computing side of things, but rumor has it Nintendo is actually looking to make a move in that area. Word on the street is that Nintendo has plans to work with Microsoft's Azure cloud computing service to stream some sort of content in regions. No word on what that content will be, why it would launch in certain areas.
Yeah.
And that's the whole article.
Yeah. So basically it's the same thing that Microsoft and PlayStation announced they were partnering for. And for streaming service, I know there's probably some people thinking Nintendo would never stream games. And like, well, they're already doing it with like Resident Evil in Japan and other games. So I could see them like looking at that and being like, if the only way we can get games like this on our console is if they are streamed to that console, then I could see them wanting to stream other games in other areas aside from Japan. So I could totally see it, especially since they already work with Microsoft a lot now. So, yeah. Are there any, like... I was kind of confused on whether to even have this on here, because it's something that's like, sometimes there's interesting news, but it's not really discussion worthy. Like, you just read the news and that's it.
Yep, and that is this one.
But to try and turn this into a discussion, can you guys even think of a game that isn't on Switch, but is on other consoles, but you would like to play on Switch?
Banjo-Kazooie.
I knew it.
Well, yeah,
but
but
you were gonna say
Banjo-Kazooie could run on Switch.
Microsoft.
It could come to Switch.
Well, I meant, like, just something that, like, the Switch just wouldn't be able to run the game. Like, Kingdom Hearts 3 on PlayStation 4 or whatever. Because I can't even think of anything.
I don't know.
I only know Nintendo games, which is why I know Banjo-Kazooie, because it was already on Nintendo.
Yeah.
It was rare.
Well, Borderlands 3 is coming out at some point. I enjoyed the first 2 Borderlands games. And I never played the other ones, so...
That Spider-Man game?
Spider-Man is good.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
But that was a PlayStation exclusive. Like, PlayStation paid for that.
Yeah, I don't know things.
Sony owns the,
But it was really good.
like, rights to Spider-Man.
There was, like...
But Disney uses him.
There was almost, like,
Because
20,000 people to watch Daniel in a single day.
Yeah.
Play that.
People are like, man, that guy sucks at this video game he never played before and isn't even out yet. Like, of course I suck at it. Are you surprised? Yep.
They also use E3
funny.
and other conventions whenever they show off new games. They basically use all of the fans playing the game as, like, unpaid testers. So, like, the representatives that, like, stand there to watch people will just take note of the areas that people have trouble with and then tell Sony or whoever. And then...
Was that? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did not know this.
I feel like Breath of the Wild's notes were, they keep dying all the time.
They don't know where to go.
Onuma gets these notes, just... Good.
That was intended.
Good.
It's like when it's like when you write something or any sort of artistry that has storytelling and your audience cries, or they're like, that was awful, I'm sobbing, and you're like...
Do you guys remember
I'm so evil.
The interview with Aonuma, to where he was talking about Miyamoto's first time playing Breath of the Wild, towards, like, he just keeps climbing trees. Like, every single tree, he just climbs.
Yep.
Because it's fun. My favorite part was climbing. I was like, I can climb anything.
And then you go to play other Zeldas, and you're like, oh, can I just climb it?
It would just be so much easier.
Can I please? Come on, like, climb it.
I can't. Wind Waker Link, why aren't you running? Goes back to Ocarina. I have to roll to the castle.
Yeah, the first big game that I played after Breath of the Wild was Final Fantasy 15. And I remember, like, I kept coming across, like, cliffs or giant rocks. And instead of trying to run around it, I'd be like, why isn't he climbing?
Yeah. Or, but, I mean, I will say, like, there's some funny blunders. The first day that I was playing Breath of the Wild, I kept accidentally running off cliffs, expecting Link to auto-jump. Like he has been for the last 30 years.
So I thought of something, Daniel.
So, yes.
Maybe the reason you liked that Spider-Man demo was because that's probably the only other game that you also can climb everything. Because he has sticky hands.
That's true.
I did partially miss rolling.
Like...
Yeah.
Sometimes I just needed a good roll. I'm like, hey, I'm glad I can jump.
Skyward Sword
but I need to roll.
even let you
I need
roll.
to roll.
Like,
I don't want to roll the whole time, but if I want to roll the whole time, give me a Goron mech.
Goron roll!
Yeah.
I love the Goron roll, but
all right.
yeah, both would be ideal, but if I had to choose, I'll take sprinting over rolling any day.
Oh my gosh. It's more logical. Not that video games need to be logical, but
No.
you know, it's just it's more painful to roll than it is to sprint.
I wonder if the Gorons looked at Link and just thought, like, does he think he's one of us? Why is he rolling everywhere?
He's rolling.
I mean, he is a sworn brother in some games.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
He is.
All right. Are we ready for the questions? Right? The mailbag?
Yes.
We can do the mailbag?
Yes.
All right.
Let's bag that mail.
Everyone, give us your Zelda questions.
Do it.
Hello, everyone. I am Jesse, or Game Over Jesse. Here with us is Daniel and Ilya. And this is the Zelda mailbag, where we answer all of your Zelda questions. So,
Yay.
do any of you guys have a question picked out while we're waiting on the chat to give us the questions?
Well, let's see. Abigail
Oh.
asked us in the chat earlier. She said, how realistic do you think Metro Prime Trilogy is in an E3 announcement? So not how much do we want it, how realistic do we think that is?
Do we think what is?
Honestly, Metro Prime Trilogy announced at E3. We kind of talked about this earlier when we were talking about E3 stuff, which is when she asked it, but I thought I would throw it in the mailbag so we could give her the proper acknowledgement that Abigail deserves. On my prediction is that on Metro Prime Trilogy, totally 50-50 in my books. I could see it as one of those weird Nintendo completely missed an opportunity, like not even acknowledging Metroid 30th anniversary, for example, weird things like that, because Nintendo hates Metroid fans for some reason,
and Pikmin fans.
Like, you just gotta drive the stake a little deeper into me there, but just twist the knife, why don't you? But at the same time, Nintendo's full of surprises. Sure, they gave us Blast Ball, but they also gave us Samus Return. So, I mean, could happen. It could happen. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I don't know enough about Metroid, so I'll just copy and paste your answer. 50-50.
100%.
I would just say yes, because So, there's been a bunch of rumors, but I think Metroid Prime Trilogy was one of the rumors that ended up coming out by retailers accidentally posting it. So, due to that, I would say yes. That's my only.
Just using the evidence.
There you
I forgot
go.
about all the retailer leaks.
Yeah.
Forgot already. My brain was just. What brain?
Marsupial finished Pikmin 3, he says.
Yeah. Pikmin 3 is so replayable.
The best game to play after Pikmin 3 is just restarting the game.
Well, yes, I did that. The first time I beat Pikmin 3, I was like, I wasn't ready for it to end. So I started over and played it again. In a year, I beat Pikmin 3. In 1 year, the year after I got it, I beat Pikmin 3 12 times. Now I can 100% it in like a weekend, but
Of course you can.
But I can also 100% Super Metroid in 3 hours. So when I know a game, I get to know it.
You know it.
All right. Do you have a question?
I enjoyed it, Marsupial Gamer.
Yeah, I do have my question.
Ilya, ask a question.
I don't think this will anger people, my answer to this question, but I think it's an interesting question. Fry Guy asks, which Zelda game would you make non-canon? My answer is easy. Triforce Heroes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Triforce Heroes. Yep.
Take that one out.
That was one.
People have been telling me they think that Hyrule Warrior and I'm like,
yeah. I would rather Hyrule Warriors be canon than Triforce Heroes.
But it has too many characters from different areas.
Yeah,
but at least they're like, oh, we opened a time vortex and pulled this character from another dimension, so it makes some sense.
Yeah, I've seen people say
I just don't like Triforce Heroes.
It's a new breakfast, all part of a balanced Saturday morning breakfast.
The two things with that is, well, they did have Zelda, and then they did have Nintendo cereal, so there was like Zelda and Mario cereal.
They had Mario Odyssey cereal.
Yeah, they like
And
redid the Mario cereal. It is. They should make the thing to where like if you just use the amiibo, Mario will like randomly pull out a bowl of cereal.
Oh yeah, that one is better.
That was a joke in one of my last streams. I think I said like Triforcios or something like that.
Triforcios.
It's like the breakfast of champions, Triferios or something like that. I don't remember what.
I like it.
I don't remember who was there.
So
I did it again.
This may or may not make you happy, Ilya, but when Triforce Heroes was first announced, they said that it wasn't canon. It was just like a side
I remember
thing.
that.
And then
they were
2 weeks later,
it's in the timeline.
Yeah. Not only is it in the timeline, it's the same Link from A Link Between Worlds, even though it's on the same engine, but he doesn't look the same.
He doesn't look that... Okay, that's my biggest peeve with it, is that he doesn't look the same.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like,
he looks
how is it in the same engine?
He goes from looking like A Link to the Past Link to looking like Toon Link, and then...
It just doesn't...
Yeah, and then there's...
It's just so cheesy, I don't like it.
Yeah, and the way they got around the multiplayer didn't make sense either, because it's supposed to be like
Hytopia.
Link goes to Hytopia, and there just happens to be 2 other people that look like Link there, but they're not Link. You're Link, but the other people, whenever they play Link, their Link is like whichever Link you're playing as is the official Link. The other 2 are just people that look like you.
Doppelgangers.
Yeah, and it's like they already had a way to do that actually made sense. With 4 swords. Yeah, because like at least that tries. You know, they're not just like, oh, there's 3 more people that came in the room that just happened to look like you. It's like, no, Link split into 4 people. Like, why can't they just...
Magic.
I will say Triforce Heroes provided us with a lot of good stuff for emotes.
Oh, superb emote stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But that is all it's good for.
Pom-pom cheering Link. Thumbs up green Link. I'm all over all of it. I like that.
That one gets used in so many different big Zelda videos where it's like, I don't know.
I love it.
Or.
Yes. Oh.
But that's all it's good for. So that's the one I would not make. I would emote it.
Yeah. Alright, Evan in the live chat says, in Breath of the Wild 2, where will the story take place? If it happened again in Hyrule, it would be pretty boring. I don't know if it would be Breath of the Wild 2, but my idea is to return to Termina. That's what I've always wanted. Like as far back as Twilight Princess, like I wanted to see, because we see how Hyrule changes over the hundreds, thousands of years. Mm-hmm. How does Termina look any different? Like a few hundred years later or a few thousand years later? Like, is Clock Town any bigger?
A bigger Clock Town in that whole area.
I think Clock Town, yeah. But I think they need to relax it with the Clock Town theme song then.
Yes.
Yeah. I think the song is superb, but if you were there too long, I don't know.
That's why the almost, not lack of Zelda music, but the way they styled the Zelda music for Breath is good, because with how big Hyrule is.
Yeah.
I would have died.
Do you know... So...
You want to keep loving these songs.
And I love music, so... Yeah. Don't ruin that for me.
You don't want to start hating it, the Zelda music.
Here's a thought about the music. In Majora's Mask, we know it was originally supposed to take place over 7 days, instead of just 3. Oh. Those days also progressively get faster. Like the tempo speeds up on each of the 3 days. So
imagine how slow it starts and how fast it ends.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So if it sped up at the same like variable that it does in like the first 3 days. So like on the 6th day, it would be like twice as fast as it is already on the 3rd day, and then on the 7th day it would be even faster. So like the tempo would just be like 400 beats per minute.
Oh god.
I think that would give maybe even me now, but I'm thinking of me watching it back then. I would have been like 5. I think that would have given me a panic attack. Because the moon would have had to start further away too. It would just be like touching the clock tower by that point.
It almost is though in the original game.
It's
even.
true.
Yeah.
So it would have to be like really far away. But I'm just imagining a really slow clock town.
Oh boy.
It'd be like Breath of the Wild, where like every 3 seconds there's a sound.
Oh.
Oh,
I would not choose Termina though. That's not me.
I wouldn't either.
I think it's very, I don't know, it's special, you know, I don't know, but I think, I mentioned this before on the podcast, you know, there's a lot of unexplored land just on the other side of the Tangar Canyon, you know, just,
Yeah, you can see those cliffs everywhere. What are they?
They even have houses and stuff built.
You can see there's things there, and it would be really cool to have a game that took place there, and if you went to the edge of that world, you could see Hyrule.
It's like
Breath of
Pokemon
the Wild.
Gold and Silver.
But
where,
in
like,
that game, you go into Kanto. Like, you can actually fully explore Kanto,
yeah,
right?
but that's what I'm saying is like
Right.
you have this entire new world, and then at the end of the game, like the king of the new world or whatever is like, oh, we have this letter for you to take to Hyrule, and you're like, what? Hyrule? And then they're like, yeah, just go south. And then you just see like the big canyon that separates them, and it's like Hyrule, like, you know, like,
Yeah.
it's just Hyrule, like you
We
can
built
go
a
there.
zip line. Here you go, man.
Ooh,
Zip line.
Zipline and Zelda.
Oh yeah.
I have this weird idea. It would never happen. For obvious reasons that'll make sense when I say it. But everyone is usually saying stuff like, oh, I want to see Hyrule be rebuilt. I want before the 100 years. 1,000. Like, they just want to see, like, before Breath of the Wild or after. And I'm like, what about right before Breath of the Wild? While he's asleep, he goes back to college during the 100 years. But then I was like, but we're already getting Link's Awakening on the Switch, so that's not a new Link and a new Koholint.
That would be
That's the
cool.
most outside the box I can go.
That was very outside the box.
Because if they did the same thing that they did in the original Link's Awakening, to where they put in a bunch of random Mario characters and stuff, it would be interesting to see like Mario Odyssey characters show up.
Yeah, it's true.
Just don't let the rabbits show up.
Oh my gosh. Or what if they announce that this Link's Awakening, it's not a remaster, that's actually Breath of the Wild Link during the 100 year.
Oh no.
That wouldn't
I
happen.
think
That's
people
just
would
me
be
being weird.
upset.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
People
yeah.
would be like, how dare you?
They just want our classic remaster of Link's Awakening.
I mean, to be fair, I would be like, what are you saying, Nintendo, if they did? It would just be comedic, if anything. Oh,
Yeah.
nope, that's not what I
Abigail
wanted to
says
open.
we
That's
should
not what I
return
want.
to Hytopia. That would make it the best Zelda game ever.
No.
She also said sarcasm, but
What is happening to my
good
thing?
sarcasm.
So did you have one, Daniel?
A question?
No, like your answer.
An answer?
And then like
I
we can do
just did.
two more.
He said not Termina.
Well,
I said
yeah,
no.
but
I wanted the land that's like
oh yeah.
just
Okay.
off Hyrule, just past there.
So would I don't know. You guys
Did
can
you
do
have
like
an
one
answer?
more
Did you
question
have an
each, and then we'll end.
Mhm.
So we'll have a total of 5 questions.
Okay.
So you pick your question, Daniel. That means
Okay,
anyone
sure,
in the
this question.
chat, like Gus, who apparently just popped in again.
Hi, Gus. He's back. What did I miss?
Hello?
If you guys have a
That's-
question,
Everything.
Yes, I do.
Zelda Cross Rapids.
No. No Zelda.
A Link to the
Cross
Future is Ocarina of Time.
Rapids. I'm sorry. What?
In the chat, they said, what would The Legend of Zelda A Link to the Future look like? And I said, A Link to the Future is Ocarina of Time, because he goes to the future and back.
Oh, that's true. Either that or it would
It's
be the
true.
YouTube video. Well,
Yeah.
Spirit Priests 1 in the chat had asked this question. I threw it in the mailbag. What do you guys think about new evolutions? Hopefully,
that was the one I was
evolution or a
looking
single
at.
type. So for the uninitiated, Eevee is my favorite Pokemon. True story. Because Eevee has potential for so much. I just love that Eevee can evolve into like so many different types, right? The only thing is like what types are left now that Eevee has not evolved into?
Well, there's like dragon.
That's what I was looking
ghost.
up.
Steel?
Yeah, there's like steel, dragon,
rock,
ghost,
bug,
normal,
or not.
Poison?
Evolutions. We don't have poison either, because what we currently have is water, electric, fire, dark, grass, fairy, ice, and psychic.
The fairy is
fighting type Eevee. he's
my
just
god.
super muscular Eevee.
No, there's
Flying!
there's a bunch of cool videos where people do like
Yeah, there are some really
art.
cool concepts.
A flying type Eevee? I wonder how that would even...
I think a rock one could look really cool.
Yeah.
Or a dragon one.
So he also says, what do you think of evolutions or dual type? Well, he says dual type or dual evolution or single type. So if let's just for the sake of fun, let's pick two. A cool Eevee concept that is a dual type. And try and brain for a moment here. I think
Rock and steel?
Rock and steel? Like
They
almost
could
like
go together.
Alolan Geodudes are. No, those are rock and electric.
I would say
Bug and flying. Rock and ground.
I want to say like almost like flying dragon type
ghost and psychic
would be really cool.
Ghost
We
and
already have
poison.
psychic, though. Ghost and poison type Eevee is like literally an Eevee that died and a literal. I'm going with flying and dragon type. That's gonna be my cool Eevee concept. Fan art.
I'm gonna say ghost and poison.
Ghost and poison. And Jesse, you said
ghost and psychic.
Ghost.
Or poison and bug. One of those two. Poison and bug or poison and ghost. One of those two.
I feel like a bug type Eevee might look a little gross. But
depending on how it's done.
But then again, they've managed to make bug types not look gross. Plenty
yeah.
Of time. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. All good.
What if there was a normal type? Like just an evolution that
Eevee.
stayed normal.
Eevee's
you
normal
know
type.
how
but like fancier.
A lot of bugs have exoskeleton, so like their skin is just like hard whatever. It would be weird to go to pet a bug Eevee that like doesn't have any fur, it's just like a hard exoskeleton.
So what if you had a bug type who's bug and steel type, and so he's got like a metal exoskeleton?
He would be Iron Man.
He would be Iron.
He'd be Iron, yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I like it.
TR Master's grass type. Well, we already have Leafeon.
Yeah, there's already a grass type.
Grass type evolution already.
The fairy type.
I guess Glaceon.
They drew it after Sailor Moon. The ribbons. Yeah, the ribbons on the fairy Eevee is like a reference to Sailor Moon because they have like the weird ribbons.
It makes sense, but I had just never guessed that. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense though.
Ilya, do you have the final question to end the podcast?
Yes.
It's the final.
Only because I was able to think of a question quickly, or I think of an answer quickly. May the Triforce guide you asked, could you guys come up with your most epic roast? And the first one I thought of was, your Zelda theory is so bad, MatPat wants to use it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Or not even MatPat wants to
Not even MatPat wants to use it. Yes, even better. There you go.
I can't even. Wait. best of roasts. Oh boy. I feel like all the best roasts, I really got to know this person.
Mm,
You know, to really
that's fair.
roast them. That's hard.
So it's not about each other?
It could be. We could roast each other.
I guess we could. That was just the first one I thought of because we always, whenever
that
people
one
bring
works
up,
for us because we're all
yeah,
Zelda theories.
Because the only one I could think of is that Daniel collects all the amiibo to further strengthen the lie that he actually likes games.
Yep. That's why I spend hundreds of dollars on gaming merchandise.
Fake gamer girl.
It's all a facade.
you know.
Fake gamer girl Daniel.
Oh boy.
Someone told me I don't really enjoy video games, like the music, and I'm like,
they're half right.
I mean, I do love the music. That's why I play them. And if it doesn't have good music, I won't play it, but I don't know why I would spend half an hour trying to do a stupid motion shrine puzzle
That's true.
if I didn't enjoy the game. Which I legit just quit one of those shrines earlier. Not even joking. It was the one where you have to get the 3 balls and the 3 salts. I was like, no.
Oh,
because I had 2 of them in, and one of them was right tipping, and then it fell the other way. Well, so.
The chat is confirming it. Daniel is a fake gamer girl. Gus is also a fake gamer girl with me. We're together. We are just 2 fake gamer girls.
Marsupial Gamer, I do recommend Let's Go.
Yeah.
I mean, as someone who didn't play Pokemon and then got into it.
Just really enjoy that they took out random encounters. I really hate random encounters.
Me too.
And a lot of people will fight me on that and say that they really enjoy it or whatever. And there was a discussion about it on one of my streams where there's, oh, no, that's part of earning the thing. And I'm like,
no, it just feels like a grind.
I like efficiency. Like, just, yeah, I don't like grinding. I don't want to grind for it.
And it's harder to avoid them. Like, I know you can get sprays to avoid, but, like, it's harder to avoid them, too. I'm like, it doesn't make it easier. I agree with wanting to battle again to get the Pokemon. I agree with that.
Because there are still some battles in the Let's Go games. Like, all the legendary bird in Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, and
Snorlax.
Mewtwo. And Snorlax. I was like, is this a spoiler? But then he's in the trailers. Mewtwo. But they literally show him in the trailers. So.
I hope they do it for Gold and Silver.
That would be cool.
And then you'd get a Celebi and a Pokeball instead of Mew. And they could make it the GS ball from the Orange Islands.
I like all these things.
Also, I think, again, logic doesn't mean anything in video games, but in my head, I'm like, I'm sorry, how do you randomly encounter an Onix?
You're just not paying very much attention, I guess.
Or that whale Pokemon. Or a Lugia. There's like a whale Pokemon that's the size of an actual whale.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember what he's called. Well, there's Whalmer as well.
And then there's Lugia that's like the size of a house.
I don't think that's... Oh, yeah. No, yeah, they're enormous.
Yeah, because like Zapdos and Moltres and everyone is already big. And then Lugia is like bigger than all of them together.
Yeah. Some of them, their Pokedex entries, they're huge.
There's just something special about like walking through the forest and you're walking through and there's a Pidgey flying around, Caterpie in the grass. Like just the visual
so great.
Of all that.
Did you guys see Detective Pikachu?
That. I haven't seen it yet.
It's great. You get to see all the Pokemon.
I haven't seen it ever.
I'm a bad moviegoer. I still haven't seen Endgame or Pikachu, so.
Endgame Colin I do have to chastise you on, but...
I'm bad.
Is Wailord the giant Pokemon?
I don't know.
I
don't know, Jesse.
I haven't gotten... There is one that's a whale.
There is Whalmer. Master Ball?
Yeah.
Team Master? No.
I don't know.
Don't throw
maybe
Master Ball.
Not even if it's a shiny
Marsupial Gamer, it depends on too. I prefer Pikachu, but I mean...
I have both versions. I liked Eevee better, but...
And especially because they have different
because
Pokemon.
I like Eevee better than I like Pikachu. So.
And I like Pikachu better. And also, to me, I'm like, what's the point of having an Eevee and evolve?
Well, you can get other Eevees and evolve them.
But what's the
you
point?
Can import them from Pokemon Go or whatnot, but then, like... I don't know. But
it was also always my childhood girl dream to have Pikachu on my shoulder. So that, of course, that me.
That's a big... But your partner Eevee in the Let's Go games can learn many different type moves. For like basically a type move. And Pikachu, your partner Pikachu, can I think only learn either electric or water type, or fighting.
Eevee is like a Ditto Fox.
I also don't like the sound Eevee makes. It sounds like a toddler.
You don't like her little voice?
It sounds like one of the toddlers I used to work with.
I am looking forward to the Sonic movie, T-Master.
Ew!
Jesse.
I love that they're like changing Sonic's.
Someone deleted his message.
For all those animators, though.
True.
So bad for all those animators that were just like...
I hope they're getting paid. A lot.
They better be. They're going to be making overtime now.
Well, if they...
To redesign...
If it's just like fixing his face and like retexturing him, then it shouldn't take that much work. Because they can just like replace the model with the normal thing. Like when people put mods in Smash Brothers and they just like reskin someone.
Just replace a Hinox with Shrek.
Yeah. Basically. And he does like the same animations and stuff. So like they just make his eyes normal and like instead of blue
gets demonetized.
Yeah.
Oh.
So is that everything? Is that the end of the podcast? Wild Horse is here. Yay. Gus. Abigail.
I think that is the end.
Oh, we have an Eevee in the chat. Do you think the Pokeball Plus will be reused as a controller or just be forgotten?
If they do another Pokemon, like a I think the next Pokemon, I think Sword and Shield will allow you to use it.
Could you play Sword and Shield with one button? Or do you think that game's going to be a bit more advanced?
I mean, it's all menus,
right? I hope it's more advanced.
I think they'll give you the option to.
Yeah.
At least. But like, again, like it's all menus anyways,
you could,
right?
So you could click the button to go to the menu to choose to like get on a bicycle or something, or you could just tap L on the controller. So like maybe you just
maybe
you can do both ways. I don't know.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's not just forgotten. Like mine is kind of collecting dust in a drawer right now. But
your Pokeball?
My Pokeball.
What Pokemon do you have in it?
I don't know, actually.
Because it comes with the Mew, but you can put Pokemon inside of it.
So, because we got the Pikachu for my son's birthday with the Pokeball. So I didn't realize that it came with one Mew and that was it. I just thought if you used it, you would get Mew, basically. So he played it first. He got Mew in his game right away. Then I went to use it and I was like, it's empty. I don't get Mew.
So what Pokemon did you put into it? What Pokemon is being tortured?
It's been a while.
What Pokemon is being tortured in your drawer?
He's sitting in there. He's been sitting there for... oh, my wife, I think, still has something in it, too. But, where was I going with it?
I need to know what Pokemon...
My concern is that if you bought the Pokeball, and you spent, like, $60 on it, you beat the game, you're like, that was fun, I'm going to restart my game. And you don't put Mew back in the Pokeball first, then you just digitally erased him forever, and you will never get him back unless you spend another $50 on a Pokeball.
It's like throwing a Tamagotchi into the fire.
Yeah, basically. And that
my Tamagotchi's always died so easily.
There's just a part of me that dreads that ever happening.
Is it Jublima what is inside the Pokemon?
Jublima's in the Pokeball. That's why she's not in the podcast today. Don't worry, she's learning. She's earning a lot of XP in there, so she's...
You could even make a pun and be like, I choobs you.
I choose you. That's terrible. That's a terrible one.
And with that, we're ending the podcast.
And with that,
Yeah.
yeah, I choose you.
Yeah. it was a podcast ending worthy pun.
Good. We're done.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Even with the long rant we had at the beginning, when everyone was getting ready, we still came in under 2 hours. So that was cool.
Wow.
Shocking. Absolutely shocking.
All right. So everyone, thank you for watching. I am Jesse, or Game Over Jesse, everything. Yes, Gus, I choose you. Oh, he likes it. He likes it.
Good.
Marsupial's brain hurts. I can be the first one to say it to her. Okay, so, Ilya, where can people find your stuff?
I am the Geek Apprentice. I have a YouTube channel called The Geek Apprentice.
She sorts
You can
everyone
watch me
into Harry
there.
Potter. Hogwarts.
I do have a lot of sorting.
Does.
Sometimes it's Zelda characters.
You may even
sometimes it's
find a
Marvel
video of yourself
characters.
sorted into Hogwarts. Have you sorted us into
Someday.
Hogwarts?
You should sort us.
Sort the Hylian Gamescast.
Sort the Gamescast.
That's a little harder because y'all aren't fictional characters.
You should do is well, do the video, and then afterwards we'll do a counter video, like where we reveal because I've done like Pottermore and everything, so then I could tell you like what I actually was sorted into after. See how close you
my
were.
Oh, that would be a
That
cool
could be
game to
fun.
play.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
should
be
do
any
this.
fun sorting me because mine's a little.
Oh no.
And I say it almost every sorting video. But yeah, I have sorting videos. I have Zelda videos. Yeah, Harry Potter, and eventually I have a music video coming out. One of my friends forced me to sing, but I'm kind of hesitant to do it. Anyway, and I started streaming on Twitch as of today. I haven't gotten the hang of Twitch yet, but that's also the Geek Apprentice, and my Instagram is also the Geek Apprentice. Fun stuff. Watch me stink at video games,
Yay.
though I love them. Is that all I do? Yeah, I think that's everything. And I do voiceovers for Jessie.
And I'm sure if you paid her, she would do it for you too.
I mean, true. That is what I want to do.
Come on, guys.
I have a demo reel. I can send it to you.
Are you doing the next Zelda movie for Zelda Universe?
Confirmed.
That's
Ilya
complicated.
is playing Zelda in the next Zelda game.
Oh, yeah.
I wish. I mean, I am planning on auditioning, but it's complicated.
What is it?
I can tell y'all after.
What's the name of the...
I can't say it on stream.
DNA. Or what is it? Is it
What game are they doing right now?
No. What's the term I'm looking for? I don't know if DNA is the right one.
NDA?
NDA.
Yeah.
That's the one. I had all the
No,
right
it has
letters.
nothing to do with that.
Okay.
That's why...
It's just the audition's complicated for me.
That's why
Oh.
Nintendo always lies to us when they're like, "Hey, is Majora's Mask 3D coming out?" And they're like, "No,
No.
we have no plans for Majora's
Have
Mask."
no-
Month
3D."
later, hey, here's Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
We totally just made it in a month.
Yeah.
Totally.
Totally.
All right, Daniel, tell us about yourself. Long walks on the beach, coffee.
Yes. Coffee every day. I'm Daniel. I am Capt Bergerson on the internet. CAPTBURGERSON. You can find my about a month old YouTube channel now that I've just started under that same name, Capt Bergerson, and where I've been posting just sort of little projects, a lot of re-uploading videos that I've had on like 800 different YouTube channels, trying to just bring everything under one banner, under one home, so all of my creative work can be easy for people to find. I also stream on Twitch as well every Tuesday, Wednesday, usually around 10 a.m. PST Pacific time. Playing a lot of Zelda games. Just started playing Wind Waker last week. We're having fun with that. And, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, Capt Bergerson. That's me. Find me.
Daniel
Follow me.
Gergerson.
Daniel Gergerson. Here we go again. So yes. And Jesse, who are you?
Everything is
And
Game
what do
Over
you do?
Jesse.
Yes.
That's basically it.
Nice and simple.
Woo.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm thinking, is Retro going to be like making fake Twitter accounts for all of these
He should.
mixed up names?
He should.
He's going to have a whole community of rhyming names.
Good.
Chances of a new Paper Mario at E3? Really good, I would say.
Interesting.
Because they have one for every console, right?
That's a good point. Since the N64, it's Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, Super Paper Mario,
Color
Splash. The one on the 3DS. That name that escapes me. And then yeah, so it actually
He teams
Good
up
point.
with normal Mario.
Paper Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one where he teams up with not Paper Mario. And then there's,
Oh,
but I think I'm thinking of another one.
do you know what I would be really excited for? Mario and Luigi on Switch.
Oh, like the Mario and Luigi, the RPG,
Yeah. Like they had the remake to the Game Boy Advance one
Mm-hmm.
for 3DS. Give me
It's
one
true.
of those on Switch in HD.
That would be cool.
Mario RPG would be great. But yeah, go check out The Geek Apprentice, Capt Bergerson, Daniel Gergerson,
Mm-hmm.
Laniel Mengerson,
Not him though. Don't check him out. But
and of course Game Over Jesse. Sticker Star, yes.
Sticker Star was the one I couldn't think of the name. Yes, thank you, Plumber Fast.
I remember the direct for that one.
That was the one. I was
I
trying.
watched it in Japanese.
That's an odd choice.
They had a Japanese direct, but they did not have an English direct, so I watched
Oh,
the Japanese thing,
just tried to kind of figure out what was going on.
basically. Yeah. But yeah.
It wasn't. Just, I love you guys didn't even mention Sticker Star. It's not that we didn't try to. I couldn't remember the name. I just couldn't remember it.
Yeah.
So that kind of speaks volumes. But
Did you guys like the Paper Mario games? Did you play them?
I
Or
never
Mario
played
and
them.
Luigi?
I never finished the N64. Remember I never owned it, so I think I borrowed it one. I played some of it and enjoyed it. I have Super Paper Mario on the Wii, which was really fun, and Color Splash has always been on my list. But yeah, I really want to get into them. I haven't really played them all that much though. But
I'm hoping a paper theme will be the hidden theme for Mario Maker 2.
that'll be cool. That would be really cool.
Because, like, the same thing, but it's just like paper Mario and paper Goombas and everything. But anyways, yes, thank you everybody for watching. And
Much appreciate.
have a great night.
Bye.